Welcome back to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And our last video was basically on how to stop giving your power away to other people, to whatever they say, to the constructs, to the belief systems, to the truths, you know, and start really honoring yourself and realizing, uh, how valuable you are. And there's a lot of, I think, in the New Age world, love bombing, but there's also a lot of pedestalizing or re- or viewing things or creating things into a religious lens that might look like really valuing a certain somebody, really seeing them as your mentor, spiritual light. You deify them. Uh, Teachers and guides, like they're there, but usually what's going on is you see your potential reflected back. That's why you like them so much. Um, I'm just saying, keep it in balance. And we're moving on. So if you want to learn more about how to stop giving your power away, and how to start learning how to value yourself, you could watch the other video. Maybe that will help you. And we're moving on. So it's kind of a paradox. You say one thing, but then you say the other, right? Um, Not really. When you put it all together and you lay it out linearly, it's hard to talk about things linearly, because life doesn't actually, the way we, it doesn't actually go linear. It's kind of all thrown in together. And then this is where you get to use your brain. You get to make it linear, digestible pieces, create models of meaning, patterns, and that's helpful and all to the nonlinear experience. So, moving on. On my own journey and channeling abilities, I've had so many journeys and so many deep experiences. I'm like, what would really help people? What would really assist them in moving forward on their journey of exploring the unknown? And I've noticed it seems like everyone thinks there's a special payoff for becoming more spiritual, like it's going to answer and fix all of your problems, or you're going to be able to answer and fix everyone else's problems. And I've been on both sides of the fence. And really, what it comes down to, though, when you want to serve the world, is to really shine your own light, And it's like, and you really can't shine your own light unless you value and appreciate yourself. And so when we look at the chakra model, the self-worth chakra, that solar plex chakra, is actually under the heart. So you can think of it as something that warms the heart. And if you have a healthy third chakra, your fourth chakra, your heart chakra, automatically blooms. And so you don't have ideas and feelings of resentment, feeling lack, because you're the diamond. You know your worth. So we can look at this as just your character on stage, your ego, uh, and that's not the type of worth we're looking at. We're looking at the life force moving through you. Well, that's pretty amazing, and it's moving through everyone, but it's equally moving through you. So, whoever you are pedestalizing, whoever you have risen to deity, angelic status, soulmate level, they're so wonderful, they're so great, they're so powerful, they're so beautiful, they're such a star, they're such a saint, they're such a god, they're so wise, they're so magical, they're so cool. And guess what? So are you, in your own unique, beautiful expression. Like, No one hears the way you hear. No one smells the way you smell. No one feels the way you feel. No one looks the way you look. And we can start to digest this on superficial levels. But then when you really start thinking about it and you really start feeling your way into it, you're having an amazing experience, you know? And I feel like it transcends like everything. Like the greatest drug, the greatest trip is actually being you. So you don't need to take a medicine. You don't need to uh, have a prescription to be you when it's happening. It is happening. Like you might be some dangerous medicine out there. I know I am. you know? So I kind of like to repackage this medicine as like a crumpled up piece of whatever. The wrapper, I like to, don't judge a book by its cover. That's like my favorite way to deliver the medicine. And so the third chakra is so, okay, I'm like, I'm going to channel and I'm going to be a professional channel. And I want to be one of these great channelers and help transform the world. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, anyways, let's slow your roll, Onyx. Let's bring it back down to earth. I mean, you already have a hard enough time staying here. They're the three lower chakras. Is actually something we do not transcend, but we can clean them out and start making them work for us. And every single client I have ever seen through like the last 40 years of all the different practices, I used to be a practicing shaman doing shamanic healing and stuff when I was younger and really into that. And I've been full-time psychic before, doing psychic healing and readings before. And I've been an energy worker, I've been a massage therapist, I've been a yoga instructor till I get bored, and I learn what I want to learn. And through all these experiences, there's an overwhelming level of self-doubt uh, to all my clients and at various levels of mental health and personal issues. But the underlying theme that's common in all these experiences is this level of self-doubt. And I think it's because as a culture, we've been taught to not trust our thoughts, not trust our feelings. And then when I started examining it, I'm like, yeah, we're being asked to follow everyone else's ideas, everyone else's truths, everyone else's genius. When do we tap into our own creative potential and be genius ourselves? Who's giving you the diploma or the license to be special, to be you, to be a genius? You got a master's degree in being you. I hope, unless you've wasted all your time trying to be like everybody else, following a system, whether it's a magical system, a religious system, a certified, a recognized school system, whatever. Uh, when, and so let's move down. Let's go all the way to the bottom of the chakra system and start with that root chakra, Oh, wait. So usually the only thing that's ever going to trip you up in this dimension is your lower three chakras. And your lower three chakras create the character you have on stage. So if it's your physical health, if it's your finances, if it's your self-esteem, your emotional well-being, you getting over your past traumas, that's all in the lower chakras. But everyone's trying to go to the upper three chakras. So the heart chakra is actually the middle of the traditional chakra system. And everyone's trying to go above it. They're trying to access the third eye. There's videos, there's techniques. Be in the crown, go multidimensional, channel the Akashic records, and so on and so forth. Well, in order to create this circuit of energy, it goes up and it goes down. And so a lot of people are like, my third eye is not open, or any of from the heart up, I need to work on this. And I'm like, the real problem is your lower three chakras are either in overdrive, they're exhausted, they're burnt out, they're clogged. The real work is in your lower chakras, the root work, you know? So if you're stuck in generational trauma, family ties, if you're having problems with your brothers and sisters and your parents and your coworkers and everyone else around you, that's a lower chakra. Even though you may be taking it to the astral plane and using your psychic senses to do psychic warfare and shields and all this magical stuff, the reality of it is it never seems to cure itself until you work on the lower three chakras. So the great symbol of Egypt, kind of immortalized, is the pyramid and the sun. And so, or an obelisk in the sun. And so we get this huge solar disk, and the pyramid just touches the tip of the sun. It could be seen as a stairway to heaven. But basically it's this pyramid shape from the top down, or from, and so we can look at that as a practical symbol of the chakra system. Where we need to be most stabilized is actually in the root chakra. We have to feed and water our bodies. We have to exercise them. We have to eat right. So a lot of people start having problems with the upper chakras, as one of my clients who's always getting possessed by who knows what it is and living a totally dysfunctional life in relationships and finances, but thinks she's so third eye special. I'm like, you're eating garbage. You're drinking every night. You're disrupting your body's natural flow. It's not like you're having an occasional celebratory drink. No, you're out of balance now. You're in excess. So energy work and toxic material taken in, whatever those forms are, actually don't go together very well. And so when we look behind the scenes at maybe some of these very spiritual, gifted people, if they're ingesting a lot of toxic substances, we see it play out in the emotional chaos of their lives, or inner mental turmoil or abuse with one-on-one relationships with others. And your angels aren't fixing it. All the wisdom of the universe isn't going to fix it until you eat a balanced diet. Really honor and respect your physical vehicle. So this is part of self-worth. This is part of self-love. And it is your responsibility. And so when I look at people trashing their physical bodies, you're offending life itself. Why would life help you out when you're not taking care of your vehicle? So really look at, the gift of your physical body. When I look at people who need psychic protection, I would say at least 80% of them are wearing out that first layer of your aura protection, which is your physical body. So all spiritual masters put a strong emphasis on physical health. If you're like a Shaolin meditated master, you're exercising for 4 hours a day, meditating for maybe 8 hours a day, okay? So your physical vehicle is the anchor and grounding rod, allowing you to create that spiritual connection and making it strong and healthy, and then doing miracles from it. But it's totally dependent on your physical being if you want to bring that into this dimension. People are always trying to go in the astral plane to fix the physical dimension. When really fix the physical dimension first, so it works. Okay, the next one. So Hmm. The second one, it really has a lot to do with energy exchanges with other people. Uh, you know, and so this is also where the second chakra is where we give birth. So our intimate relationships with our partner, our children, our friends, our family, our close knit is all through that second chakra. And this is where detachment comes to be an issue for a lot of people. We either hold on to, if I can't hold on, so these lower, okay, notice the heart chakra is not on these lower things. Hunt, kill, war, lower chakras. Me versus you, lower chakras. So the warrior archetype that helps you get up every day and go to work and do what you have to do to make ends meet, to have your house, to create security, they're all lower chakras. And you don't need love to do that. You don't need to love yourself. You don't need to love your neighbor. So we know what chakras you're operating by the things that you say and how you say them and how you go about your life. Your values are different when you're trying to survive versus when you're thriving. If I can get you to a place of thriving, your values switch, your energy switch, and the upper chakra is automatically open without any techniques. But we had to honor the fact that we had to be in warrior mode. So someone who's overly selfish has a cranked up warrior mode. Someone who is hard to understand and is always defensive and arguing, is good at debate, cranked up warrior mode. Uh, when you're taking that warrior into places it doesn't need to be, probably like the kitchen and the bedroom and these more delicate social experiences, it's not going to serve you, you know? Uh, so you need to learn to tone that down. But maybe you were in survival mode the whole time, so you never really gave yourself an opportunity to be in the more artistic, creative, loving mode, beautiful mode, eloquent mode, genius mode. You know, maybe it was always strike or hit first, question later, do first, question later. And now we can flip it and start questioning, analyzing, pondering, praying, opening up, meditating first before we take an action. Hallmark of wisdom. And that might be the gate that really moves you out of warrior mode into wisdom mode. The wizard, the healer, the diplomat, the lover. So one of these basic archetypes could be an overdrive, and the other one. So you just need to basically do the opposite. So, anyways, moving on. So then we get to the top of this little pyramid, and it's capped in gold, which is the sense of self. It is a wonderful miracle to be you. We talked about it in the last video. It is a blessing to be you. And no one gets to have your experience. Like, what a gift is that? So, that isn't exactly love, but it is appreciation for your existence and for the life force. You must know the life force first. The life force isn't really a concept. It's not, let me think about it. Yes, there's energy. I believe there's energy. Maybe there's a formula about energy. See how, you're not experiencing it. I want you to be able to put your hand on the stove and go, wow, that is hot. I'm feeling it. It's not a theory. It's not a question. I'm not, there's not something between me and that living experience of my living self. That is the solar plex chakra. You experience joy, the thrill of existence. You're living in the moment. You're present. And you're like, all these other people are cool. And okay, that one's more attractive than me. And that one's richer. And that one has a better, okay, that's cool. But I'm having my experience. So you can experience bliss. You can experience really positive things, deep sense of joy and appreciation and gratitude. And we sometimes think we reserve these types of elevated feelings for the heart chakra and above. I have to die and go to heaven or be in some other greater experience, or the world has to change in order for me to feel all this awesomeness. No, the jewel in the lotus, Om Mani Padme Om, the jewel in the lotus is the third chakra, and it's selfhood. So, in order to reach the divine and to be, and to have full access, you have to be divine. You have to deeply honor and appreciate yourself. And and those are the only lower three chakras. And so through all my practice, through all my years of anything I've ever done, it was with these lower chakras. And that responsibility is actually put on my client. It's like, I can tell you everything, but if you don't choose to digest it, if you don't choose to practice, go exercise, be disciplined about your diet, learn to say no to excessive pleasures, because all toxins are medicines, but used inappropriately, they become toxic. So it's like, oh, what percent toxicity? Well, yeah, and that is medicine. Now you're at over 100% toxicity. Now it's a poison. So balance. So the whole chakra system, the whole tree of life is about balance. So we really don't have too much. And so there is no veil of forgetfulness. Sorry, people. There's no veil of forgetfulness. It's a veil of ignorance, and you did it to yourself. You chose other people's truths and concepts. You chose to give your power away. You chose not to honor yourself. And so all you need to do is the reverse. I honor myself. I value my own truth from my own experience, my own perspective. I'm not here to judge other people's and compare. I'm not here to cling. I am self-sufficient. I am my own person. And so the hallmark of mental health was to individuate, was to become a whole, complete person. So you had to work those lower three chakras, and that was it. You didn't even have to love. You didn't even have to have some spiritual or divine experience. You just had to become an individual. If the universe didn't want you to be an individual, it would have had you glued together to all your family and friends. So if the universe didn't want you to go on your own path and think for yourself and see the world through your own eyes, it would have had you assimilate into your family or your environment. But it didn't. You're an individual. So the whole purpose, I would say the beginning, so what has been robbed from you probably of any of your past trauma is your inability to access third chakra, selfhood. And so in the glory of your own self becomes an empowerment that automatically is a psychic shield. So if someone's like, help me, I'm having all this like astral attack or spirits are bothering me, I'm like, because you don't know how powerful you are. And you haven't developed your own will. Why would you let someone else's will of any other force from heaven or hell outwill you to use magic? It is actually willpower. That's the third chakra. Your will is directed by, you have power. You just need to choose and will for yourself. But I don't know what I want. I'm confused. That's all third chakra. So your mind, your brain, your thought processes, that's all third chakra. Your emotions, your pain body, your history, your drama, it's all second chakra. And the results of that, all your physical and financial problems and your stability issues and your location, and that's all root chakra, the first chakra. So those lower three chakras govern your whole reality. And so your upper ones, in a weird way, aren't needed. Especially when you just feel that love for yourself, that appreciation. I mean, when you're just vibing that, everyone else is going to be like, I just feel so good around this person. They are like the sun and all these planets are now orbiting. You're going to have orbiters and money will flow to you. Why do you think it's gold? Why do you think it's yellow? But you can't have the flower without the stem. You can't have the stem without the roots. So you see, it's an integration. So what's happened is a lot of people have, they're like, I want to be the flower. I want to be the leaves. I want to be the stem. I want to be the thorns. But I'm like, no, you have to be the whole thing integrated, the whole thing holistically. You need to be working on all three chakras. If you're doing that, then the fourth chakra automatically opens up. You're like, I love and value and appreciate myself so much that it's easy. I don't feel lack anymore. I move beyond duality. I transcend time and space, which is pure love. And so we get love bombers because they don't know how to love. They're like, I love you, I love you. They're maybe giving you all these gifts. They're maybe overdoing it. If you knew your worth, then the biggest gift would just be present with them. I'm here with you now in this moment in time, and I don't want to sacrifice 1 second of my bliss. I'm not lonely, so I don't need, but we can share and vibe together. Now that is pretty loving, pretty generous. And wow, you're that amazing just like me. And we're in this space together. And so you give, and I receive that. And I give, and you receive that. And we're just having fun. We're just in bliss. We're just enjoying the equal exchange of the celebration of life and the celebration of the experience and the celebration of who we are. So, I mean, look at any of those three angles is a good enough reason to celebrate. So, I'm celebrating that I know I'm valuable, you know, and that's a good enough reason to celebrate. And if I don't know that fully, I'm celebrating the experience of being alive. Now, that's a good enough reason not to be depressed or, okay, I'm not feeling great about me, but I'm feeling great about being alive. Great. Sharing that. And so you can really get to these high levels. So when you're feeling good, your body automatically switches out of stress mode. And the healing chemicals and hormones rush through your body, and your physical body goes, I'm not in fight, flight, or freeze. I'm not in danger. So your body has an ingenious way of going, if I'm really in danger and I'm trapped, well, if I die, I can just blip out of the matrix. And yes, you can. But if you're feeling good, it goes, well, I might as well stay. I might as well enjoy myself. I might as well open up. I might as well play. Well, since I'm playing and enjoying myself, I could be creative. Well, I could do something new. And so these chakras, and I might express this so you're going to start to expand your energy and lighten up automatically. And you're going to switch from a negative polarity, energy going down into base needs, to energy going up and out. And now, so a magnet has a positive and negative polarity. And that's awesome because now it can create a circuit of energy. And now your vision clears because you're not living in duality. I'm not going to say you're going to keep it up. The goal isn't to keep it up. I'm just going to stay in nirvana state 24 hours. I mean, that's going to automatically happen, but it happens through clearing. And so why am I dragged down? How come I'm having a great day? How come so expanded my consciousness, channeled angels, and then the next day I was depressed, couldn't go to work, my body ached and pained, had jet lag from all the astral travel. I'm saying because there's a lot of material that still needs to be cleared out of the lower chakras. And that's just part of the process. Up and down, in and out. And so that's where the duality comes in. You can transcend duality when you clear out the lower three chakras and they're beaming. At that level, everyone would think you're a god, And More power to you. Um, but this video is about done. And so the heart was kind of self explanatory. It's the center of the system and it's kind of automatic. So, really, if you put your. So now we need to go to the chakra above it. And this is the one that I was like channeling. This is also known as your channel chakra. It's a higher form of communication, it's higher expression. In its negative polarity, it's slavery. It's being controlled by others. So it's um and and so it's also the bridge between the head and the heart. And so it actually is a very critical chakra, kind of bottlenecks, like a wine bottle, and really supports all the chakras beneath it. And with that root chakra of intaking toxins, it goes in and out the mouth. And the power of the word and being conscious of what you say. Is it coming from my mind, a heartless space? Is it coming from my heart? Is it coming from these lower chakras? To be mindful of how you speak, the tone, the words, the meaning as you release them out into the universe. To be mindful of what you take in with your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears. It all goes through this channel. And so this is the chakra of purity. To purify, not a spiritual escapist way through some ritual, uh, you know, but I see what I'm eating. I'm mindful of what's in my food. I'm mindful of how much I can take. I'm also mindful of what I give out to the world. When someone asks me a question, do I speak from my ego and past history? Do I speak from other people's truth? Or do I speak from the inner wisdom? Do I channel it in? Can I mix it? Is this loving? Is this open? Is this non-dualistic? Is this freedom? Can the heart and the mind merge? And can I inspire? What am I creating? We think a lot about forms, but we don't really think about we're creating every second with the intention, the underlying motive. Who's in the driver's seat? Is it my ego? I've been creating a lot of crap. Is it my spiritual self? I'm creating something beautiful and maybe very